Okay then, so in the previous video, I took this XPT to head on down to Goulburn, Australia's first inland city. And now that we're there, let's go and check out what else Goulburn has to offer. Okay then, so Goulburn has 3 platforms here. It has services, it's a major junction to the line down to Canberra and also down to Melbourne, and is also the terminus of the Southern Highlands line. It seems like only platform 1 is regularly in use, but I might be wrong, and looks like they still use it on occasion. So this is the waiting room inside of here. These are the toilets just here. I had to be a little bit careful about the filming because there were other people, but it's not too bad of a waiting room. So I then went to try and check out the ticket office, which was supposed to be open, but yes, I need to go to the gym. Okay then, so this is the outside of Goulburn station here. This is where the coaches depart, and also the bus service to Crookwell, which replaces the old branch line that used to be there. So anyways, just like that, magically, I am now at the Goulburn Roundhouse, thanks to that taxi down there. Good on him. Alright then, so I had a lovely taxi driver from the local taxi service just here, who was great, there. But yeah, now I'm here at the Roundhouse just here, and it's time to go in and check it out. There's already a few interesting things I'm already seeing. So for me to enter today, it was only $10, which is pretty cheap actually. So they ask you, to start here at this little corner where this hard Canberra benches, I don't know how comfy it is, but there's some old Thomas memorabilia just up there as well, just as you enter in. And now we're going to go and check out the parcel van. So the railways and the post service often relied on each other for many years as well, as trains were the main way of delivering mail. And they were basically post sorting facilities on wheels as well. So it wasn't, just transporting the letters. Had to sort everything out, what was going to go to Nyngan and Crookwell and all of these really small places all across the entire state as well. It all had to be done in here, all packed up. And, they'd be stopping and starting. It was, a 24-hour operation. It was crazy. Okay then, so this here is a tank engine, number 1076, quite similar to Thomas. And then there is this tender locomotive. We will now have a very, very, very special opportunity to go underneath locomotive number 390. A very special opportunity indeed. Okay then, so they've cut a hole underneath here so that you can see the firebox. So you can see the hole where the fireman, chucks the coal into the firebox as well. And you can see the little tubes where the heat comes on through and goes out to the smoke box. You can see the door open up there, and that's where, all the heat comes on through and the smoke heads on straight back up. So we'll go for just a little wander around here before we check out the cylinders. The little things that make you go, make the locomotive go chick chick poof poof, and make the whole locomotive go. And then here is outside. So a roundhouse is basically the same as like Tidmouth Sheds and Thomas and Friends. So this is where all the locomotives and a few carriages also are parked around here. And actually, if you have a private carriage of your own, you can actually go and rent one of these places, as low as $90 a month, which I think is a bit of a steal. Speaking about stealing, if you were stealing, another form of transport was being on a prison transfer in a jail cell like that one there. And then here we go. Here is a diesel locomotive just here as well. Okay then, so now here is this crane here that was used during derailments would, lift whole locomotives and carriages out and try and re-rail them here. This was built back in the 1920s, and is still and was used up until the 1980s, and is still operational to this day. It's still operational and can still lift those kinds of those kinds of things about 100 years later. And here's a little demonstration of uncoupling just here as well. And here is a 48 class locomotive. So these cars here were private luxury carriages, often owned by millionaires heading, that lived like in Vaucluse and had country estates out in town. So these were private carriages, owned just by them. And then over here are suburban carriages, fully wooden suburban carriages. These trains, actually, it is illegal, for someone, to be on them while they're moving, because there was a really awful accident back in the 1800s. So all wooden carriages were completely banned, and, you had to, steal on them. Otherwise, you couldn't use them altogether. So the owner found those two left around somewhere because they were supposed to, all be completely gone, all scrapped. So that's why, that private car looks a little bit more, a little bit more shabby. Now, most of the carriages and locomotives out in this area are dead machines walking. So this area is no public access. Yeah, these ones are going to go very soon. Now, this is a pay bus here. So, the union insisted in the day, that no checks, that all wages were done in cash. So these buses used to go on rails, used to go all across the New South Wales train network, dropping off wages to staff. They were always 24/7 armed with 4 to 6 armed guards there, and were very highly secured. There was only one incident with them, and it was like, the biggest thing in World War II in Australia. And what happened was that this particular pay bus took the Queen and Prince Philip, fun fact, over in Coffs Harbour, because it was the only train that could actually go there. Now, this here was used by the station master, which was a very highly prestigious job back then. So at 3 a.m. in the morning, every day, they would have to, get out of bed, hop on this, and pedal, all the way over to the next station to see if there were any defects on the line. And this here is a little guide to the 3 different track gauges in Australia. Queensland, 3'6", New South Wales, 4 feet 8.5 inches, and Victoria, 5'3" inch broad gauge. And the other states use similar systems as well, except for Tassie, they do things differently. And then this here is one of the oldest things here. This machine here used to keep everything going here before electricity, so that's why it's a bit dusty. The conveyor belts there, the little areas there, can control the speed there as well. And this is a telephone that was put right next to the telephone box. So, the police officer, there was an emergency, like if there was someone stuck on the line, go ring, 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 and then pick up the phone. Hello, Mr. Station Master. Hello, Mr. Signaller. Stop the train, otherwise you're gonna kill someone. Thank you very much. Meep. And then hang up like that. And then here are some miniature trains. It's time to, see miniature trains again. It's that time of the video again.
Was a dream
Okay then, so here are some 59 class locomotives. Their sister locomotive, 5917, is in regular operation with the picnic train. I've been on her. And she sometimes comes on down here to Goulburn Roundhouse for inspections, etc. So, the 59 class locomotive on the left is pretty much screwed. It's in really bad condition. It's just been used, for spare parts. So that's probably not going to be around for too much longer. And then the one on the right is currently being restored, as a museum display, and possibly in the future maybe operational. We'll just see how we go. But yeah, there was one time where, all three were together there, and you could sort of, compare between, really screwed and, in perfect condition. And then this locomotive, Australian National, Australian National, Australian National. So from up here, you can actually go inside and check out the engines inside of there. Look how cool that is. Now, here are some streamliners here, including locomotive 961, which is currently being restored by a special preservation group, and a few of 44 class, other 42 class and other kinds of streamliner locomotives. So you can see the CLF there, and there's also the CLP as well. CLF is for locomotives to be nice and strong and powerful, while CLP were for passengers for speed. And then these carriages here are old Southern and Royal carriages currently being restored. So this locomotive here, 3112, was supposed to be restored, but is currently on hold at the moment, because the owner who was restoring this locomotive died. So this whole locomotive is in a big old legal limbo at the moment. So anyways, we're all finished with the Goulburn Roundhouse. So we're going to go and check out a special house here. You can see the M31 here. You can see all the trucks here. This is the main link to get on down all the way to Melbourne. Okay then, so I finally made it here, but there's a bit of a problem. So I came all the way over here, to see this, history other than trains, and it's shut. Nothing on Google Maps, nothing online. Yep, it's just, sorry, we are closed for the day. A real shame, because I would have liked to have gone in there. I could jump over the fence, but doesn't sound like a good idea to me. So I just gotta wander around Goulburn for a little while. Not that much to do here. It's about half an hour walk back into town. I could hitchhike. I could just go like that, but yeah. So that after that, I'm just gonna have to walk the next half an hour or so along here. I could, get a taxi again, but I want to do things a tough way. So we're gonna go past Goulburn Racecourse just here as we get on up to the town. Is the church, the big tall spike building. I'm not quite sure it's a church, but probably it is. Something tall. Okay, so I've just ended up in a race course here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Coincidentally, there's an event happening here, as you can see here. But where are the horses? And is a greyhound? Where are the dogs? Where are the bloody dogs so I could save them? To all bus enthusiasts in Sydney, guess what I found? Guess who's back on the map? It's Punch Bowl Bus Company. We don't have Yugo Mobility here. Thank the Lord that they still survive, at least here in Goulburn. So then right next door to the bus stop is the Goulburn Visitor Information Centre, who have given me a few little tips and tricks, for some, a few things to do here in Goulburn. So I'm just going to go and walk around town because the other place shut. So I'm just making up stuff at this point. It's a visitor information centres for tourists. But they were really nice in there, so check them out too. So here are some of the things that were recommended to me by the Visitors Information Centre. So first of all, I decided to go into Belmore Park, which is the main park in Goulburn, to check it out. Was those pet goats back there? Anyways, this place is getting a little bit strange for me, so I'm getting out of here. So anyways, there's a Harvey Norman, the green Harvey Norman, for some weird reason. Don't know why they've done that. But anyways, here is a temperance fountain here. Yes, people, who were trying to, prohibit alcohol, gifted a water fountain, to Goulburn, probably, to support, the temperance movement, prohibition and all that. And this is a little, plaque for the coronation of King Edward VII, Playboy Prince. He hid in the basement, near my place in the UK probably. And there's PBC, Punchbowl Bus Company there, and there is the church. So we're gonna go and we don't have a lot of time left, but we're gonna try to go and explore as much as we can. This is sort of just sort of at the end of the main street. Just along here you can see church, cathedral, all that here, and then over there you can see the post office and also the town hall. This was the town hall for many years, for Goulburn Council, 1887 to 1990. Nowadays it's used as a performing arts centre. And behind there is a telephone exchange. If you want to, complain to Telstra, that's where you go. And then this is the post office, opened up sometime in the 1800s there. Because Queen Victoria just steers you like that. And then there's Wendy Tuckerman. Hello, Wendy Tuckerman. And then here is the Paragon Cafe. Oh, it was a lovely cafe inside of here. Sort of Art Deco style, like the 1940s, and it was they had one of the most delicious iced chocolates there. They had some delicious iced chocolates there, and also some good chicken schnitzel and chips as well. Try and get something without chicken salt. Now that was my cue to head on back into Sydney, because my coach departs in 10 minutes. Let's rock and roll. That's the coach just there. But if we want to get on this coach, can't book in advance, all we have to do is tap on at the platforms. Let's get on. Okay then, so the padding on the coach is pretty good. There's a slight recline, which is pretty nice as well. The seat wasn't quite comfy at first, but I got quite used to it in the end. There's also some curtains as well. It's good for a short trip like this. So anyways, the doors are now closing and we're now leaving Goulburn. There's only one stop after Goulburn. It's Campbelltown. That's it. It's only Goulburn to Campbelltown and back. No need to book. It's only the Opal card and that's it. So, also remember to have your seatbelts buckled as well. It's now the law. And then we have vents as well, to keep yourself cool as well. There's also some lights there. I wasn't able to quite figure how it worked, but I got the front seat. Niffer, you cannot steal the front seat. So anyway, so we're now out in the suburbs of Goulburn here. Starting to turn off towards the M31. There's also a public school in the corner as well. Okay then, so we're now on the M31. We'll be on the M31 for about 95% of this journey. I'm not going to film too much along this journey because I have another project about the M31 planned in the future. It won't be for a little while, but do keep an eye out for that. But we're going to go onto a weighbridge for some weird reason, so we're going to slow down here for a little bit. But it was closed, so we were here for literally no reason, so we just turned off and went right back into Sydney. Now, for some weird reason, a pretty new fire truck from Hurstville Fire Station was
out here for some weird reason. I'm really not quite sure why. But anyways, it's a really beautiful journey heading on back into Sydney, so I'll just let you sit back and relax and enjoy the country views. Well, bad news everyone, I'm back in Sydney. So there's a brand new road bridge being built just above us there as well. So there's a bit of roadworks happening around here. And down there is the Campbelltown Steam and Machinery Museum. If you like more of the steam trains and just everything about steam in general, that's a great place to check out. So we're going to go and exit out towards Campbelltown. Just through here, we're going to go and see some ex-bus about buses, now recently transit systems, before we pull on up into Campbelltown. And that's the end of our journey, nice and quick.
Alrighty then, so we're now back in Sydney, well, Campbelltown, it's not too far away. You all know how to get back, T8 service straight into the city. So, thank you very much and have a great rest of the day. Goodbye everybody.